we go. I'll try again. Mike Hancock here, the chairman of the Circle of Excellence group of companies. And today I'm introducing you to, I think, the world's only online video coach, Raewyn Barry. Background in television, worked at a brilliant company called Facebox, who did all sorts of things from television ads to explainer videos to show reels for people to short form videos. And Ray, you've just been awesome. You were the video director of the Global Speakers Summit last year in Bali. You've been responsible for putting together my videos as well over the years. And I think your knowledge is just phenomenal. And I'm so glad to have you on our call today. And without further ado, let me hand over to you.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I feel like you just did my who am I slides for me, which are coming up. So there's going to be a bit of repeat information there. But I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And excuse me if I am swallowing a lot throughout this presentation. I had a minor flu over the weekend, and I feel like I'm still recovering. So I may need some sips on water as we go. Is that, can you guys see my presentation okay? Can I get a thumbs up?
Perfectly. Yep.
Great, perfect. Okay. Cool. So this is exciting for me because, as Mike was just saying, I've really spent this year narrowing in on online video and coaching video as a thing. So this is quite cool because it's one of the 3 to 4 presentations that I've done this year on it. So it's becoming a really interesting topic. So it's really great to have you all here. And what I want to show you or share with you is how your virtual presence, both online and via recorded video content, can either open doors in your business or quietly close them without you knowing. Because the moment that you show up on screen, people are already deciding whether or not they can actually trust you. So who am I? As Mike mentioned, I'm Raewyn, and I have a really unique role as a video presentation consultant. I use my knowledge from working in the film and television industry to coach business owners on how to show up on camera and build frameworks for video content. I left school when I was 16 and landed a role at a local TV station, and I worked behind the scenes in all of the roles that you can think of. I've worked in radio, TV, and live broadcast. And at 24, I took on my first venture in business as a business partner at Facebox. So some of you may recognize Kevin there in the photos because he was my business partner. And we worked with brands both here and internationally, creating videos, short films, interactive videos, advertisements, including being on the video team, as Mike mentioned, at the most recent Global Speakers Summit. But where things really changed for me and where I began to see how I could make an impact as just me was when we launched a product called 25 Videos for 2500. And this product was creating bulk short form videos for business owners. And it was designed to create leverage in a space before it was overly populated like it is today with short form video. We were shooting 25 videos in the space of 2 hours. This meant my role was walking them through the production from what to wear, how to speak, and ultimately how to turn up on set for maximum impact. This product was targeted at business owners, CEOs, leaders, coaches, consultants who more often than not didn't have any experience speaking in front of the camera. And my clients really started to lean on me quite heavily to coach them through the process. And I was actually sitting at a mastermind in Australia with Mike and Landy and Harley, who's on the call, and Mike and Landy showed me how to define this role and turn it into something. So it was in leaving Australia that I learned NLP, and with the goal of getting people confident in front of the camera in just 15 minutes on a 2-hour set, shooting the 25 videos back to back, and I did just that. So I stepped out into my own business in November last year, and this year has been about implementing that knowledge into the online meeting space and virtual meeting rooms. Here's what I believe to be true about being on camera after producing thousands of videos over the last 16 years. Number one is that the camera acts as a mirror as to who you are turning up as in the moment, perhaps even more so than when you meet someone in person. And it's because we typically treat it differently because it's not a living thing, right? And when we're talking with a human, we're communicating with facial expression and body language, and it's not just the words we're saying, it's the whole picture of what's happening around us and what we're turning up as. But in front of the camera, we just don't have that live interaction to measure off. And so we slip on these micro expressions and we relax in our posture, and it can read really differently than to what it can in person. The second thing that I believe to be true, and this will save you a lot of pain in the future, hopefully, is that you need to be yourself. And I say this having worked with hundreds of people in front of the camera. Everyone is looking for resonance, and you must be yourself to stand out amongst the noise. The first reason in that is so you can find your tribe and your tribe can find you. But the second is that it's just not sustainable to adopt an image that doesn't feel like you. You can only grow so big in an image that doesn't feel truly aligned. And when you hit that ceiling, you will collapse. And in my career, I've seen people go through this sometimes multiple times where they build a massive audience for their offer they have at the time, and then they burn it all to the ground because it just wasn't them. So I am interested to know, chat, what's holding you back from showing up on camera in the way you want to be seen, or what are you feeling uncomfortable about? So you can let me know in the comments, or feel free to unmute yourself. And there should be time for Q&A at the end as well. Might just, oh no, I can see chat, cool.
It's a good question, Raewyn, and I've been thinking about it. I wonder if anybody else has got the same thing. I mean, what holds me back? And we do a lot of video shooting, as everybody knows, but what holds me back is having the right sets and feeling that it represents our brand, because we don't, we can always shoot in the Octopus House, which is our office, and it's a great set, but then it becomes more of the same. So we like to shoot on location, but it's not always easy for us to do that. So that's me. Jeffrey's got, I need a few tries usually to get the right energy. Pamela is engaging with different technology. And Anthony is, I actually don't feel held back. I record quite a lot of videos, but I'm an amateur when it comes to editing.
I can see Pamela's one there. Also living with a person who produces live streaming for a living and is a perfectionist. Nice. I really like all of those because these are the things that come back for pretty much everyone I've spoken to this year. There's some technological barrier. There's something definitely in the energy. I would be lying if I said that I can do videos on my first take. I definitely do a couple of takes on them. Anthony, I love your one. I really do. Because that just says that you turn up in the right energy to film. And so for you, it is turning up as your natural self, which I really, really, really enjoy. And yeah, living with the person who produces live streaming for a living as a perfectionist. That's an interesting combination. I think I was that perfectionist for a long time. So just move along. So today I wanted to, sorry, excuse me, my tea's in the way. I'm going to show you why your virtual presence matters and why video is the most powerful tool that you have for scaling trust, influence, and impact. Before we do that, I want to underpin some truths about communication and how people understand you. And it's rooted in understanding people and how they like to receive information based on communication. The first thing to note here is that a first impression is typically formed within just 6 seconds. This is online and offline. But when you're online and on your camera, your webcam, and your phone, these are no longer just tools. In many cases, they're actually serving as a shop front window to your business because people are looking in through that window and they're perceiving everything in your store. And we often assume that people believe us because of what we say, but research actually shows a much different story. Only 7% of communication is the actual words that we're saying. The rest is in how you deliver it, your tone, your energy, and most importantly, your body language. This means that presence matters more than words, and authority isn't spoken, it's felt. So if this is how people understand you in person, how does that change when you're on video? Because when you're on camera, whether it's pre-recorded or in a virtual meeting room, a lot of those cues are limited, distorted, or lost entirely. And that's why aligning your presence online is so critical, because people are actually working harder to read you, and what they do see and what they can hear actually carries a lot more weight. So let's talk virtual meeting spaces. 42% of all business meetings are now online. This means that your virtual office is part of who you are and how people experience you. So whether that's your staff, your colleagues, your workmates, prospects, leaders, it's not just about first impressions anymore, it's about trust. And as I mentioned on the previous slide, your camera is no longer just a tool, it's actually the shop front window to your business in the virtual world. And when you join an online meeting room, there are 3 key elements that people notice immediately before you even speak. The first is your lighting. Are you clear? Are you easy to see? And do you stand out from what's behind you? They notice your body language and your presence. It's how you hold yourself. This is how people are going to hold you in mind. So they're seeing, are you interested? Are you leaning in? Do you seem confident? Or do you seem distracted and disengaged? And they're taking in your framing and background, the environment that you've chosen to represent yourself in. And it all says a lot before you speak. So, Mike, I think this is kind of relevant to what you were just saying, because you're actively picking the environment to show that you're in. I don't know about you, but I've certainly met people all over Zoom, and one guy was in his laundry room. Other people are in their lounge. Like, these are the locations that people are choosing to represent themselves in and align their image with. And so I do think we need to be specific in choosing those locations to give the right impression. Now, if you're wondering about those magic blurred backgrounds as well, there's magic blurred background filters that allow us to hide what's actually happening behind us. The reality is that they're distracting and they create dissonance. And you will need to work harder to build trust with a blurred background. Custom background filters are a step better because they can be part intentional with delivering brand information. However, they still cut you out and place you on an unfamiliar background. So again, you're going to be working slightly harder to build a little bit of trust. People associate your authority with what they see around you. So as Mike said, when I first joined up to Circle of Excellence, geez, maybe 6 years ago, take someone to a 5-star restaurant for your business meetings because they'll associate you with that class, right? So a blurred background doesn't help that. And as leaders in your field, I do think it is incredibly important that your background reflects your offer. Designed intentional spaces do just this. Now, I always like to say at this point as well, if a custom or a blurred background is your best option, it is your best option. Because your background needs to reflect your offer, and a mess just isn't going to do that. But virtual meeting rooms are really just the beginning, because the real leverage happens in video content. This is how you extend your influence beyond the room, the city, and even the country that you're in. So video has the power to build relationships, sell products and services, educate audiences, share beliefs, shape cultures, shape mindset, and even transform lives. And it doesn't happen one person at a time. It has the power to do this at scale. From hundreds of views in a highly aligned niche audience to millions of subscribers on a channel, a single video can shift everything. Video also collapses distance, it creates proximity, and it creates intimacy at scale. So someone in Japan, South Africa, Australia, or New Zealand can feel like they already know you before you've even met. So what kind of video matters in business? The first one I want to talk about is long form video. So long form video is defined as content that runs for 10 minutes or more. So think of your YouTube videos, your podcasts, your interviews, webinars. This is not the quick hit content. This is the deep, deep dive stuff. So when someone consumes your long form video, they spend real time with you. And it takes roughly 7 hours of content consumed to turn a stranger into a loyal raving fan. Long form content is the most efficient way to create fans. Long form also gives people access to not just your knowledge, but to your beliefs, your way of thinking, your worldview, and that builds that intimacy and trust and loyalty. What's performing strongly right now isn't overly polished, heavily edited content. It's actually unedited long form conversations, raw recordings, and unscripted insights. And that's because it's the authenticity in the content that people crave. So, this is why podcasts and YouTube channels are exploding. It's because of that intimacy. And the more time that people spend there, they're getting to know you a bit better. The next one I want to talk to you about that I feel business owners should really be considering is your VSL. So a VSL stands for a video sales letter, and it's a strategic piece of video content that's designed to explain your offer, why it matters, and why you're the right person to deliver your offer or your promise. A VSL is not about being flashy, it's actually just about clarity. And it's walking people through your beliefs, it positions your offer against the noise, and it shows them the pathway to work with you. The power of a VSL is scale. So you can share your story, your vision, your value, and let the video do all the heavy lifting by repeating itself hundreds and thousands of times, potentially. People don't just want to know what you do, they want to know why you do it. And a well-crafted VSL will make that crystal clear, and it will create alignment between you and your audience. And to achieve the result, it really is as easy as just putting a simple call to action at the end of your video, asking people to sign up or purchase your product or book time with you. If you're following any of the leading entrepreneurs right now, you'll notice that they're all leaning on the VSL system, and it's because they're not just sales tools, they're belief shifting or shaping tools. So belief shaping builds alignment and trust. And when your beliefs and your audience's values align, trust and conversations follow. The next one, which I'm sure everyone is familiar with or had a touch point with, is short form reels. I get asked about these a lot. And this is what we were doing with the 25 video product. These are the quick hit content. And why they matter is because these are how new people discover you. The algorithms push this content wide, which means you can get in front of audiences who've never heard of you before really, really quickly. And the role it plays in your business is visibility and consistency. It keeps you present in your audience's daily feed, and it drives traffic back to your long form content and your offers. Think of it as like a handshake or the introduction. It's not the full conversation, but it's that spark that opens the door for the conversation to happen. And with short form, there is a catch. SEO really, really matters here. Platforms need to know what your content is about, and they do this through your keywords and your captions and your hashtags. So if you aren't aligning these to the content in the video, you're going to find it harder to get these videos where you want them to land. So specific keywords equals the right audience, and short form works best when it's consistent and precise. The next one is high-end video. And this is your polished, intentional video that sits on your website homepage, your key pages of your site, and in your ads. This is the first impression people get when they look you up online, right? And the way to think about it is it's your digital lobby. So before people even speak to you, they walk through this front door of your website or your ad. And if the video signals care, professional quality, and attention to detail, they'll assume that your business is about the same, or it's got the same value around those things. Professionalism transcends language. So across cultures, people interpret well-produced video as a sign of credibility and authority. It's a universal trust signal. As well, sorry, excuse me. A well-placed high-end video can instantly set you apart. It can show your value, your audience's time and experience. Sorry. Just gonna have another sip of hot tea. So it shows you really care about what you do and putting that in front of your audience. And when it's done right, your video doesn't just inform, but it also elevates your brand. And it positions you as someone who's serious about your work and who's worth investing in. I genuinely believe that testimonials and case studies are probably the lowest hanging fruit when it comes to getting video content for a business. And it's because they can be easy to capture in the moment with your clients, right? But testimonials and case studies are your reputation on record. They're the stories and the voices of the people you've helped, and they carry more weight than anything that you can say about yourself. When you meet a prospect, they expect you to talk about how good you are, but when someone else says it, that's proof. So testimonials and case studies validate your expertise and results in a way that self-promotion just can't. And the difference between the two is that testimonials are short, direct endorsements of your impact, and case studies are stories. They're the full journey of a client problem, process, and transformation. The bottom line is when you can showcase the voices of your clients, it accelerates trust. People think, if that worked for them, it can work for me. Testimonials and case studies shorten the decision-making process and make your authority tangible. And there's a catch to all of this. There's a catch to all of these videos getting results. And that's that it needs to be authentic. And it needs authentic conviction in your message and when you turn up on video. This is where and why you can see poor quality videos do extremely well and quality videos perform poorly. It's in this space that your videos make or break. And it's the role of body language, voice, and an image in creating alignment between who you are and how the world sees you that it works. Authentic conviction is about showing up with absolute clarity on what you stand for and an unwavering belief in what you sell. It's the integrity woven through your work and your offer. The alignment between who you are, what you deliver, and how you present it to the world. The simplest tip I can give you here for turning up on screen online or pre-recorded is to do it deliberately and intentionally. Be more animated than you think you need to be, or you would otherwise be in person. So I have a few questions for you for your own reflection to measure where you're currently at. When someone Googles you, what's the story your content is telling? And if I sat down and consumed 7 hours of your content, would I walk away trusting you more, less, or does that content even exist? Does your video content reflect the same level of expertise you bring to your clients, or is there a gap? And where is your authority in your content not showing up as strongly as it could be? Your presence is your power. Your power is your proximity. And when you align those on screen, you don't just look the part, you lead in the online world. So every one of you here is already a leader or an expert. And what I do is help people bring in a higher caliber audience through video content. This is so they can get to the next level in their business at scale. This is the work I do, helping leaders and entrepreneurs show up on video with confidence, presence, and clarity, so their online authority matches the impact that they're here to create. What I do is build frameworks for people to follow so they can turn up with conviction on screen and attract the audience that they're aligned with. I coach because I've seen too many brilliant business owners held back by how they show up on camera, and my work is about bridging the gap between where you are now and the authority that you're meant to embody. So my work involves taking people from uncertainty to confidence, from hidden expertise and shrinking to visible authority, and from nervous on camera to natural and powerful. I offer a 4-month program, which entails weekly one-to-one coaching, custom frameworks tailored to at the pace and goals of my clients, and we focus on presence, confidence, content strategy, and authority on camera. It's not just about learning to make videos. It's coaching that meets you where you are. And it's about becoming the kind of leader whose authority is undeniable online. And when I work with people who want to make a massive impact in their field, they know it's not just about leveraging that online journey. It's about being in that and having that online, that authentic conviction. The leaders who will stand out in the next decade are the ones who master presence, not just in the boardroom, but on the screen. And that brings me to the end of my slides. So whether you're ready to work on how you show up on video or you just want to connect, you can find me on LinkedIn or Facebook, because for me, this is as much about connection as it is about coaching.
Thank you, Ray. I'm just going to remove your spotlight there, and we're going to jump into questions. And firstly, I have a question, but it's actually for everybody. It's not for you. So you saw the 4 different types of video in there, which is the long form, the short form video, the lobby video, if you like, and then your professional. Sorry, the lobby video is your professional, and then your video sales letter. How many of you have each of those 4 things now? Can I just see a show of hands if you have them? Right. A couple of us. Okay. So therefore, we've got a little bit of work to do. Ray, which of these is the most important, do you think, that people should focus on first? And, or if they're revisiting their video content now, sitting back and thinking, oh, yeah, mine's a bit old, I haven't done it for a couple of years, where should they start?
I love this question. I just want to come to Claire's comment as well. I can see it there in the chat now that I've stopped screen sharing. You are right. The less than 1 minute videos are the most consumed. I'm assuming that that was came out in regards to the long form video. Yeah, so the long form's just about people having access to you. So you might have less views. It's about access and knowledge and spending more time. Mike, as per your question, it depends where you are at in your business and what your most immediate needs are. And I say that because I'm on the journey myself this year of building my own business. And the next thing for me is not thousands of short form video and sound bites blasted across the web. The next thing for me is actually a really clear and deliberately crafted video sales letter. I know that, and that's because I have an offer that is potentially harder to explain. I keep repeating myself, and then I'm like, okay, this gets a little bit harder to explain about what I do. So having that VSL means I can just say people, hey, watch this link. It's clear. It's for you. So if you're like me, where you have a really unique role in the world, I do recommend starting there. If you're the business owner that Mike just spoke to who already has lots of content, and I know there's so many people out there, And someone who I'm working with at the moment, she's got stacks, hours. She is maybe in the 30-hour plus range of content on YouTube. They haven't done the SEO. So they've got maybe a couple of hundred videos. And it's literally a case of going back and revisiting the board and making sure that the SEO is working in favor of that content. And the question her and her team keep asking me is, should I be creating new videos? And I keep saying to them, I think you should be repurposing the stuff that's actually really good. It's just got really little exposure because you haven't got the right words there around it. So it really is based, my answer has to be based around where the individual's at. Um, I remember Anthony's stuff from the GSS. Like, I know he will have a lot of content that could be cut down into short form and just blasted out on the internet. Should be, yeah.
Okay, so that's great. And I saw Claire nodding a lot there when you were talking about repurposing video, and I sort of was nodding myself there. Um, just a couple of comments more than anything, and it's comments maybe for the people who have been around a little bit longer. This first comment, but during the first COVID lockdown, one of the things I did is I removed over 400 videos off YouTube of me. Reason why is because I didn't feel that they were representative of where I was at that point. And I probably need to go back in and get rid of another 30 or 40 now, maybe. Um, and I did leave some videos. Like, I think I've got like almost the first video I ever loaded to YouTube in 2006 is up there, and it's grainy and pixelated and all of that sort of stuff. However, it's still representative of part of my journey, so I left it there. The second thing, Ray, and this is such a cheap thing to do, but I'm using it at the moment and I'm testing it for the rest of this year. We've been using it for a couple of months now, and I have to say I'm really happy with the results that it's getting so far. Is I'm taking existing content and putting it into a software called Opus Clip. And Opus Clip takes an existing video that you've got and turns it into short form videos. And every Tuesday, which is today, every Tuesday on LinkedIn and other social medias, there's a new short form video that comes out of Mike or Mike and Landy, depending on who the shot is, of somewhere between 30 seconds and about a minute and a half. And at this stage, I've been really happy about the fact that it is getting interaction. It's not getting hundreds of likes or anything like that, but I'm consistently getting a dozen or more likes and comments and things like that for it. And they're from new people. So I'm interested to know what your thoughts are on using some software like that to do that. And then I have another question for you.
Great. So one, coming to the first part of your statement.
Yep.
I'm going to reflect that back to exactly what you and Landy said to us and everyone in the Circle of Excellence. Your digital footprint. Make sure it's clean. If things don't align with you, if things aren't your message anymore, just go ahead and hide that stuff. Delete it, hide it, remove it, don't have it in the forefront, because it'll come back, and if it doesn't align with who you are and it's not a good representation of your business or the offer that you do now, let it go. The second part, honestly, the AI tools, I found them to be quite hit and miss. What I find, I'm not a big fan of Opus Clip. It doesn't really nail it, but it's grateful that it works for others. Pretty much the same thing. I find the AI tools can be really hit and miss. What happens, maybe with your content, Mike, because I know that you're so intentional with it, and you've got, even with your longer form, you're very intentional with how the whole thing is crafted. What I see people do, and this is the business owners that I just meet in general, is they'll go and record an hour talk, and then they'll go, I have one clip and I want it cut into 25 reels. And so you get this repeated information. You get this really cheap and just not well thought out short form content being plastered across their social media. So again, you kind of got to find what works. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I take Anthony's point as well. There, he says he's not that happy with it. So what I've done is I've taken 10 to 15 minute long videos that we shot, which are professionally shot videos, and put them into Opus Clip. And out of each 10 to 15 minute video, I'm getting about 3 or 4 clips that are decent out of it. But those 3 or 4 give me a month's worth of content out of that video.
Yep, that's perfect if you can do that. I think the reality is that most people aren't concise with their information when they record a video, and
Right.
so that 10-minute looks like one okay short form piece of content. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Just
Let's
in
go
my
to other
experience.
questions. Now, Harley said it, you missed this one before, Ray, but I know you know this. Harley says he's camera shy. What do you do
I
about
did
that?
see it. I did see it when I jumped on the Harley, you're amazing on camera. I don't know that you're camera shy. Um I think I was your biggest fan on TikTok. Um Camera shy, I think it comes down to that authentic conviction and feeling rooted in the message and why you're turning up. I have seen so many people, as I said, the product alone, 25 videos for 2,500. I saw the biggest mixed bag of business owners that would step in front of the camera. And the ones that turned up saying they were camera shy or that had the biggest nerves were the ones who didn't feel completely strong and centered in what they were there to talk about. So they would turn up and they would be like, I want to speak in the language of some online guru that I've seen do the latest talk because I love that person. And I'd be like, yeah, but you're not. You're like a really nice lady from Melbourne, so who's a masseuse. So maybe we need to speak in, you know, in her world, not in Gary Vaynerchuk's kind of world. So it's just it's a hard one. I do think it needs a deeper conversation, but I also believe the surface level answer is in that I genuinely believe what I'm saying and turning up with conviction to back what I'm saying.
And I think, just speaking to that, Ray, because I've watched a number of Harley's videos online, and I watch a number of all of yours videos from time to time. But Harley is very centered. He's very deep, which is his normal way. And I think that that's really good because we all have an audience, right? And whilst Harley probably may not, attract the Gary V grind it at 5 a.m. type of thing and hustle your way out of wherever you are type of audience, he's going to attract a person who's more centered or wants to center more. And I mean, why would you want to attract? Shouldn't your videos be polarizing as well? I mean, look at Joe Rogan, for instance. He's incredibly polarizing, and he's attracted so much of an audience, rather than trying to make everybody feel happy.
Yep. Conviction. Conviction to me means unwavering belief. It means turning up and saying, this is what I believe, this is who I am. And everyone who does not resonate with that, they will just go elsewhere. That's exactly that polarization that you're talking about. There is an audience for Harley. I'm in it.
Yeah,
I'm living
yeah.
for it.
There
It's
you
just
go.
it's I maybe as well, Harley, actually, if you don't mind me speaking, just quite frankly, I think it's possibly also rooted in the technology and that unfamiliarity with technology. Because you and I have had this conversation as well. I think it's less about being shy. Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions you've got for Ray? Claire,
TikTok.
perfect for you.
Yeah, well, and this is where I kind of wanted to really try to hone, because I didn't feel TikTok was my channel, but I feel now that maybe this where I kind of can make a difference and really at different levels. Do you reckon then 10 minutes is a better one for TikTok in terms of longevity? And connecting with the audience and talking about something a bit more deeper than doing the 1 minute videos.
What do you do for work? Just so I can
Customer
understand.
experience. So I talk about
Okay, cool.
energy, customer experience, that kind of thing.
You might be better on Instagram if you're
Okay.
not already on Instagram.
I am, but
Um,
I've found
yeah.
I've lost Instagram, I've got to say.
Okay, yeah. So Instagram had a massive blow up in the last 2 years, and everyone jumped on there with their advice. The reason why I say this is a lot of people want to jump on TikTok. Um, I would love to explore this conversation further to see
Okay.
how you would differentiate yourself on TikTok. The
Mm,
reason being is TikTok is noise.
yeah.
Like
Okay.
the people that visit TikTok, I don't know about you, I've used it. I engaged with Harley's stuff when I saw it. My algorithm's completely different now. It's about noise, it's about clutter. So you'll see a video, you'll like it, and then you'll just keep scrolling. So if your goal is about lead generation and it's about having more people, like if you're asking me from a business perspective, what I think the best strategy is entirely on the internet, it's having your VSL, it's having your long form content, and all of your long form content point to your VSL, and then all of your short form content point to your long form content.
Okay.
Your short form content can go TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. It can be
Yeah.
passed absolutely everywhere, but relying on one channel or going like is TikTok the new thing? It becomes quite tricky. TikTok is typically a more skit based algorithm.
Okay.
It's about being creative, it's about being a little bit risky and crazy. I don't know
Do
how.
that.
Yeah, great, perfect.
That's
Perfect,
clear.
yeah. Instagram Instagram's starting to pick up that trend as well, but for the most part Instagram has been more beneficial to users in getting people actually engaging with content and transferring them through using tools like ManyChat as well. So comment on the video if you want my link to this thing. If anyone doesn't know what ManyChat is, Mike, do you know what ManyChat is?
No, I don't think I do.
No, okay,
Maybe I
so
do.
manychat.com, MANY chat. I'll chuck it in the chat. Spelt like that. It links with your Instagram profile. I think it does TikTok as well. And then there you go, manychat.com. And what it does is in your content, even your post, you can say comment this word below, and it'll send an automatic message in your DMs to that person. And you can make it sound, you can have like 3 to 4 different response types. So you can make it sound quite human. And they can ask for links and sign up to your offer. I feel like it's a whole conversation on its own, but ManyChat's useful, and I think it's part of that short form playbook for sure. Yeah.
So, right, sorry, where would you put your sales video then? Where do you put them? In on YouTube?
Your VSL,
Yeah,
I
on
would host it on your, yeah, put it on YouTube, but have it on your website.
on your website. So then there's
Totally.
right.
So if people are looking you up clear, they go, this is my VSL page, and then you would have your VSL, your video, and you just have your button next door to your video or below that'll say if you want to meet with me, click the link
Right.
on
Okay.
this page. Yeah.
Raewyn, firstly, hi, Matthias. Lovely to have you here, the greenest man on the planet. Great to see you. Just you you mentioned the VSL and having everything point to the VSL. So are you suggesting that you have, let's say, all of your content on YouTube, and in the description of all of that content, it has a link that takes you directly to the VSL, which sits on YouTube or sits on your website?
On your website.
Right, okay.
Your
Okay,
content, you want to take people to your place. Yeah.
sure. Okay. Then coming to long form video, because I really liked that, and I realized I've moved away from long form video a little bit, and you gave me a good reminder to move back to it. But with the long form video stuff, what do you think is the right sort of type of long form video? How would it be shot? and what's the length of that long form video to get that 7 hours worth of content that people are looking? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah. I was part of a group last year with a New Zealand entrepreneur. His name was Dan Bolton. And the strategy that all the guys were implementing was all on YouTube. And it was all education-based video. And these videos were getting maybe 600 views. But they were 600 views of highly aligned niche audiences. And they were absolutely cranking it with the strategy of posting one long form video maybe once every 2 weeks and just directing people to the VSL.
Yeah.
So you asked a couple of things in that. Unedited, raw conversations are what's performing best.
Mm.
And education to some description. So, and again, you've got to put this into the context of your own business and what you're willing to give out into the world as free information. But these guys, seriously, they were at the level where they were like, absolutely everything. If you wanted to learn it, you could just go visit my YouTube channel. Because what happened was, when there's just this enormous amount of content out there on YouTube and people are consuming 7 hours plus of your content, they don't want the content. They want the proximity. They're no longer just there to consume what you're saying. They are like, I want to pay to be in your world. And people were paying like 450 USD a week just to be in these guys' worlds. And it's absolutely insane. Like, it's just crazy numbers. But it's about proximity. If somebody is listening to your podcast and they're watching your YouTube channel, it's less about the view count on the video and it's more about the caliber of that person and how they're converting and coming into your world and wanting to be part of that, and then that entire sales process actually happening before you even get on a call with them. So it's about
Great.
belief and proximity. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, any final questions for Ray?
Yes, Rae, thank
Jeffrey.
you very much. It was very instructive. I would like to know more about the environment and what you put in the background. As you notice, I'm very thoughtful in this way. Haven't made a decision yet. Do you have any rule of thumb of what works and it's easy to set up?
Yep. I did a workshop about 2-3 weeks ago. And these are the biggest takeaways, because I did the workshop, I delivered it, and like this came back from the questions. So you're getting the nice summary here. 1, always have light on your face. Light your face. Just be nicely lit so that, as I was saying, you're clear from your background. People can see that distance. The next thing, and because I've moved into here, I haven't quite nailed it, that really came back in this group and everyone got really excited about, and actually, again, it comes back to Circle of Excellence, is essence. Have something relevant to your business. Have something relevant to your offer if you can. So, as I said, the guy that was on some meeting, he had a washing machine in the background. He was a videographer. And it was just completely crazy. Like, it was like, he was doing a whole presentation about video and everyone's looking at the bloody washing machine. So, I've got sound bats. It talks to being in production. I could totally put something on this wall, but what I want to create is that, yes, feng shui background. I love that. Yes. Having people step into your world and into your virtual room if they feel like, oh, I'm in the right place, you've nailed it. And I think what I forgot to say is, because of this virtual world, people are trying to locationally place you. It's why often you'll get on a virtual call and they'll be like, oh, where in the world are you? Or where are you? And it's because you're not meeting in the restaurant, or you're not meeting in the cafe, you're not meeting in the hotel. So it's really hard for them to place you in the right environment. So make it easy, build your essence in, put yourself up against a wall. And I hope that helps. What do you do for work, Jeffrey?
Helping people for speaking. Public speaking coach.
Cool. Okay, yeah. So you could definitely have artworks or pictures or posters you know, like those motivational posters where it's like be stronger, or people with great posture. You can get quite creative with it.
Mm.
You could have quotes on your background that are related to speaking. There's so many things you can do. I think it's just diving in what feels right for you. The main things are having that light on your face. So.
Thank you. And for the light, we are a few here with glasses. And whenever we put a light in front of us, you can see the reflection of the light. Do you have any solution for this?
I do. Because I'll move this one away. I don't know if you can see that. This is just a nice soft diffuse light. So it's got this kind of it's got like it's I'll turn it off actually for a sec. So it's got a like clear, but sorry, not clear. It's got like a diffused lining over it, right? Does that make sense? Like baking paper almost. It's I can't find the word, matte white. So that will take that direct shine from a light off your face and off your glasses, and it'll just soften the whole light. Yeah, that's my tip.
Thank you.
But then you were stepping into a whole world of lighting, and we could spend literally an hour talking about lighting. But it's a good one, yeah.
And lighting's one of the toughest things, isn't it? I mean, I'm just in natural light at the moment because I'm not at home. I'm actually away, so it's one of the reasons I choose always to have this background rather than natural backgrounds, is because I can never control my background given I travel so much. But the having a set with a depth of field, and there's some great speakers who have some great setups. And the one I really like, he was on a call with me last night. He's a Circle of Excellence member, is Raewyn Patek, and his depth of field and the way he has his setup is really, really good, because you just go, this is a very, very highly professional person, and he knows what he's talking about, and you can see it instantly. You know,
quality
camera, and sort of like you've got Ray there. If you look at Ray, she's not face on to the camera like I am, right? So the camera's slightly to the side, which picks up that pot plant at the back of you and that corner and things like that. That tends to work well. Not that I'm any expert. So we're coming to the end. Let's go for anyone got one final question before we wrap it up.
I think Harley's dropped you on here.
I see Pam with her hand up as
Harley,
well.
was that private or was that
That's
here?
private.
I know you so well. We can jump on a one-to-one.
Okay, there you go. And so let's go to Pam.
Yeah. I'll message you.
All right, thanks for everything. That was a great presentation, Ray. Even though I, like I said, live with somebody who does that for a living, I've always got some great takeaways. Earlier this year, I did a series of 16 videos. Because I wanted to not have to think about the content, I actually scripted it and have a professional teleprompter, and it went well. What I didn't like, and I couldn't figure out what the hell and why I did it, is my face was making the weirdest gestures as I paused. And one friend of mine said to me, it's equivalent to people who say and oh and have the fillers. He said, your facial gestures were your fillers. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. All I know is if my family looked at it, they'd go, what the F was that? Some people say just put them up anyway, but I was so horrified that I probably, out of the 16, I only probably used 3. But I do want to put those up. So the question is, do I go ahead and put them up, even though my face looks funky sometimes? Or if I re-record, which I'm thinking about doing, what advice do you have to keep your face natural as you're talking? Because I could be animated in my voice, but my face was doing weird things as well.
Can you edit them at all? Are you just said a keyword, which was that it's like an or an so
it's not any filler words. It's where I'm pausing in between
naturally. Okay.
Yeah. And it's like, it's my lips. It's usually my lips. It's like I'm doing weird things with it. I don't feel it when I'm doing it. But yet I can see it when I see the playback.
So the golden rule really is, if it's distracting, it distracts. like, and I haven't seen your content to know how bad or how good it is, or if I would just be like, hey, yeah, just post it.
Yeah.
It wouldn't
My
be,
brother, who doesn't watch me, has seen it. He goes, I don't see anything. My youngest sister, who I'm very close to, and she looks at everything I do. She's the one who said, and I could see it too. I mean, there's some I could probably get away with, but if you
interesting.
zoomed in,
I wonder if she was also picking up maybe your state, because it's really hard to not sound like you're reading when you are, especially from a teleprompter. Look, you asked how do you stop it or how do you get around it? And I say this from a very personal level, and you guys probably saw it on the call. Now I'm going to get really self-conscious about it. I have to remind myself to smile.
mm,
And it's because when I speak and when I'm sharing knowledge, like I'm doing it now, I'm trying to tell myself to smile, I tend to get a really serious face. And it's because I have that conviction. I really believe what I'm saying, right?
mm.
I literally would drive around my hometown practicing smiling. It's like, it's uber embarrassing, but I would do it because I was like, I need to turn up in these places. But it's practice.
I think
It's
that's a great idea because if you're smiling, even if you're animated, your face is going to stay in
yeah.
this position, even if you're talking about something serious. So
So,
maybe I'll give that a go. I'll try a few.
Pam, it's exactly what I would on set between 25 videos with people. I would be like, stop, smile, stop,
Mm.
smile, stop, smile. And they'd do it over and over and over again. It's catching it at the time. Look, if people aren't noticing and if you're okay with it, if you find content, you're like, actually, I'm okay with that and I can live with that, go ahead and post it. If it's
I'll probably
relevant,
just
and
post it and redo them and then
yeah,
transfer them out. But
and
I'll
drive around
exercise this smile.
practicing your smile.
Exactly. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well done, everybody, and thanks. We're right on the hour, so thank you, Raewyn. I thought that was incredibly insightful. You're getting lots of those comments as well in the chat. So if you want some help, reach out to Raewyn. She's very easy. Her email address is very easy as well. It's raewyn@raewynbarry.com. So that's a simple one to remember. And thanks, everybody, for being on the call this week. And thank you again, Raewyn. We'll see you all later. Bye.
Well, thank you.
Bye-bye.